Hi everybody. Okay, I'm trying this webcam capture thing again, so we'll see how well it works. Now I know it's recording. Um, that last video was pretty embarrassing and silly, but anyway, I can be silly. So I just watched a couple of videos this morning, particularly Tina Grunden's Q&A. Please tell me if I'm saying her name wrong. And a couple of others, and it really got me thinking because people were asking her about her eating disorder and how she overcame it. And I'll save that for another time maybe, but it really got me thinking on some tendencies I've been noticing in myself lately and wondering if is it normal, is it sort of an ED relapse, or is it something completely different that I really don't know about? Um, and I'll tell you what I mean. So I've been following this lifestyle for about 3 months. I've gained 30 pounds, um, which thankfully doesn't really show on my face as much. I've always had kind of like a baby face, but my body, which I am not showing you, kind of has gotten pudgier, softer, fluffier, whatever you want to call it. And for the most part, I've been okay with that. I'm feeling much better, so much better. I'm feeling good about my body for the first time in a long time, and I'm sure a lot of that has to do with carving up. Um, I'm taking a risk. I feel a little bit like I'm throwing myself off a cliff into this dark void that I don't really know what's there, but people that I trust, um, people that I trust from YouTube, like Freely and Sasha from Rice and Raw and Tina, um, are saying, and oh, so many other people in the community that I've met online and in person are saying this is going to work. Um, Not just for weight loss, but for your soul, like for yourself. Guys, I've got some orange juice here. This was a mango drink that I refilled with orange juice because the bottle is very convenient to carry around my living room. But what I've been noticing is that I'm having these thoughts of restricting, but not just restricting, of fasting. Like, I'm not having a thought of, like, oh, I should eat less or I should watch my calories. I'm having thoughts of, it's like a little urge. It's like a little, I almost want to call it a craving, but I don't really know if that's the right term. A craving to fast. And not just any fast. Like, I used to do a lot of juice cleanses, and there's a whole community of people that will tell you that those are good for you, but and I always loved my experiences on them. But as far as my eating disordered behaviors and the weight cycles that would contribute to that, it was not great for me. But I used to do quite a bit of that in the past, and then going back even further, I did master cleanses, and that was when I was in the deepest parts of my eating disorder, I guess. Um, I would do master cleanses, and I'm getting these like little brain whispers to like do a master cleanse, and how great that would be. And this is confusing, and I'm sharing it because I honestly don't really know where it's coming from. Um, is it a sorry, I'm like thinking about it, and my just brain is just going blank trying to find this thing. Is it like the closest answer I can come to is maybe that there was a period of time that I did a master cleanse, and then I started eating raw, and I was at the lowest weight I've ever been. But of course, to my mind then, I looked amazing. But to my mind then, I was like, I wanted to lose even more weight. Um, but I loved my body in a way that I've never, you know, I was happy enough with it, I guess I should say. But and I was happy in a lot of ways. I felt balanced in a lot of ways. But then, of course, the minute I had anything that was outside of my very strict, nothing can be heated over 105 or 110 degrees, even my tea, I was like insistent if I went somewhere like Starbucks or Argo Tea that I would say, do you know how hot that is? It can't be over. I mean, like, so you see, even though I was doing like healthy things, my mindset was still very sick, and my mindset was still just desperately clawing into these rules, um, such as nothing can be, everything must be raw. It wasn't just, eating raw and being healthy and, or eating mainly raw or raw till four. It was, this is right or wrong. Um, and heaven forbid you be wrong. So, I mean, the minute I sort of started having cooked food again, and granted, when I think about that time, there were other things going on. I was traveling. I had been losing sleep because of the traveling. Um, I was, some of my other sort of inner psychological stresses were being triggered, things that had not been, I had not yet gotten therapy and like really for these issues and talked about them and kind of gotten them off my chest. So, a lot of stuff was happening at once that contributed to me just kind of going off the rails into an uncontrollable binge, which started the cycle all over again. So I'm wondering how much of this has to do with just some sort of weird, like, in the same way that, like, smell is such a powerful scent that if you smell something, like, say you're in a rainforest. This was in a book that I read once, and I can't even remember, it was so long ago, but it was talking about how powerful scent is. They're like, say you're in a rainforest, like a eucalyptus, so you're smelling eucalyptus. If you're somewhere else and you smell eucalyptus, it will bring you back to that rainforest and that memory. Scents can do that. Music can do that too. Just yesterday, I listened to a song that I haven't listened to in maybe, in over 10 years, and it just brought me right back to that place, and I was like, oh my God. And you know how teenagers can be. It's like, everything is so important. Um, but I was right back there. So I'm wondering if it's some sort of sense memory thing, because I'm feeling really good now. I mean, I still have like normal human emotions. I'm not artificially zen all the time or artificially happy all the time, but I'm in a place that I've never been, and it feels really good, and I know that this lifestyle has a lot to do with that. And yet, there's something in me that maybe, like, the only other time I kind of felt like this was when I was in that little eye of the storm before, when I was starving myself beforehand, and then I got to this place where I was able to maintain it because I was eating raw, and I was feeling really good, this little, like, eye of the storm oasis before I went off the deep end again, and things got really bad. And that's when I got therapy for an eating disorder for the first time. That's when I kind of realized and admitted to myself that I had one. Um, and I have to thank a friend of mine for that, actually, because I would never have admitted it to myself if this one person in particular had not looked me in the eyes and went, Lauren, you have an eating disorder, you need to get help. Um, and I just went, no, I don't. So, and I was like mad at her for a long time, but she's amazing, and she was not afraid of hurting my feelings or making me angry by telling me what I needed to hear. So, so anyway, so I'm wondering, yeah, like maybe there's some sort of sense memory connection, but I'm wondering if anybody else has any thoughts. I'm wondering maybe I just need to eat more fruit stuff. I haven't been as up on the smoothies, etc., etc. After the holidays, I know I'll be able to have a little more freedom to do like the, maybe Banana Island, or like get the bananas in and like, like really experiment in that direction, which I haven't really had a chance to yet. I know my hands look huge when I like because they're closer to the camera. It's so funny. They come out of nowhere. Okay. You can tell I'm new to this. So that's about it. That's all I really had to say. If you guys have thoughts, please, that's why I'm putting this out there, because I know there are so many of you who are far more experienced with this than I am. Please let me know, and that's about it. So that's it for today. Thank you very much. I'm going to go back to my orange juice in a mango bottle and maybe make some Gatorade later. And I'm going to be on a flight to see my family later today. So, huzzah. I'm excited. Can't wait to see them. I love you all. I can't believe that just happened. I just said I love you. But I do. So, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And, bye.